Having watched the film, you might be wondering if I really was alone when I travelled from Mongolia all the way to Hungary for those 3.5 years. Well, most of the time I was. However, for 3 weeks at the end in the Carpathians, my friend and cinematographer Michael Dillon joined me. He actually walked on foot with his camera and then also joined me for the end in Hungary. During other parts of the journey, there were times when people joined me. My friend Cordell Scaife and his girlfriend Cara Poulton joined me for 6 weeks in Kazakhstan, and my girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, Catherine from Germany, did join me for a time in Mongolia as well. Having them there did help for some time with the filming. However, most of the time I was completely alone, and as you might imagine, with 3 horses and a dog, alone filming in -40 and in the mountains is a really difficult task. Usually the way I did that was actually set a tripod up, and then I would just check it. I'd get back on the horses and then ride and then come back, and I'd usually use the opportunity to travel in various different directions to give the editor the most amount of options for later on with the editing. However, after some time, Tiggin got so accustomed to this tactic of mine that he actually used to hide under the tripod. So it was actually really hard to get Tiggin in the shot for the second half of my journey after he'd discovered that I'd have to travel at least 500 metres away from the camera before he'd start chasing me. There were a lot of funny times trying to film, of course, and there's nowhere to tie horses to out in the steppes, so while you're trying to film, the horses often ran off. I also did most of my still photography alone, which in some ways was even trickier than the filming with video camera. I used to once again set the tripod up, then try and figure out where I might ride into the frame to take the photo. And the problem was that I was shooting on transparency film, so I didn't have the ability like with digital cameras to actually preview the photos I was taking. And I only had a maximum of 20 seconds on my timer, so that involved setting the timer and then racing to jump on the horse. Of course, through a roll of film I might get 15 shots of me chasing the horse, halfway up the horse, almost getting the horse, and even once I got on the horse, it was very rare when the horse was actually where I wanted it to be. But in the end, of course, all of the hard work paid off, and I did manage to capture some of the spirit of the journey.